Welcome to the advanced rejection strategy training. Let's go and set up our chart. So we are in pocket option and I'm going to try to make this as easy as possible. Okay. So we're doing this on demo, so I don't have to worry about anything other than teaching this to you. Okay. So we are going to go and we're going to set up our candles. We are using 𝐬𝐤𝐤𝐚. We are using 15 seconds. For the actual expiration time, we're using 5 seconds. You click on the time and you want to make sure that you're not on the flag. You don't want the flag to show. Now that's for different strategies such as naked chart trading. And if you want to learn about that, I have a mentorship course. If you do see the flag, click on it. Now you can see the clock and you can change it down to 5 seconds by going to S5. Or you can just go up, and easiest thing to do is just click on S next. You want to set up your indicators. Go over here. So you're going to see different indicators. We're going to click on the indicators and we're going to go to 2 moving averages. So you just click on moving average twice. You're going to click on Donchian channel and you're going to click on CCI. That is all that we need. Let's go set it up. For CCI, we're going to use a period of 15. Under styles, what I like to do is have white at 4, background pink, full opacity. You can make it whatever color you want. And you're going to leave the rest of it the way that it is. First moving average, we're going to set to 55 SMA. And I like to make it white, 4 pixels. Donchian channel, we're going to leave this as default, which is 20. I to have the top as this nice teal color, bottom is going to be red. I have 2 and 2 pixels, no background, no middle, save. I'm gonna make sure that we show that. It's gonna look like that. And then we're going to need a 5 SMA. So let's get rid of 6. We're gonna put 5. And I'm sorry, that is EMA. And I'm also going to make this white and we're gonna make sure that it is visible. And that is basically it. Voila. So the entire premise of this is that we are using, you can hide your indicators by clicking on that arrow, but the entire premise here is that we're taking rejections off the 55 SMA. We are also taking common point of rejection. So you're going to find tools that you need under this little paint brush symbol. And the 2 that we're using are trend line and horizontal line. And I'm going to show you an example of this right here, right now. Okay. So let me zoom out just a little bit. As you can see, this is a major uptrend, right? We're going up. Our channel is above the SMA and it's probably going to reject right now. As you can see, we're rejecting, we're going up, and we may come back through, but we got a rejection first. So now it's going through, but as you saw yourself, it rejected off that SMA, went back up, and then came down, okay? But if we go and we draw our lines, which you're always going to do first, you're going to see we take a trend line. Now, just so you know, when I'm on PC, I am using the lines that I can draw myself with Epic Pen. But when I'm on my phone, I'm actually using these trend lines and horizontal lines, okay? You do whatever you want to, but I absolutely love Epic Pen. Okay, so we want to draw our lines. We're going to do it like this. We go across the tops of the red and up the bottoms of the green. So if we were going to do a trend line for green, we would create another trend line, go to the bottom of this green and go to the bottom of the most recent candle. And you're going to see this is actually where the trend reverses. Okay. So that's just basically how you draw your trend lines. Now, another thing, how do we draw or use our horizontal lines? We're going to take a horizontal line. Let's grab a couple more and we're going to set one right here. We're going to set another one right here and let's do another one right here. Why am I putting a line right here? This is because the common point of rejection for this green, this, and this red candle not so much the first one, but number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and actually now 7 are going to be exactly where I put this horizontal line. This means that is the common point of rejection. So I know that when the candles reach this point, they're going to reject. When do we take a rejection trade? We're going to do it on candle number 4. Okay. Now you can do it on others. As you can see, candles are rejecting off of the other line that I drew, right? Because we're going to have multiple rejection points. We have multiple levels, and you can see that these lines have actually touched multiple places recently, and that's how we know where to put these lines. That's the purpose of scrolling all the way out and looking at your entire chart. Where have you had touches before? But this is also the purpose of the Donchian channel. Okay, you can see that the highest point is going to be where our line goes across the top. Lowest point is going to be where the line goes across the bottom. That creates our support and our resistance naturally, and we're using default settings. But I digress. So we're going to make sure that we have all of our lines drawn. Why? Because these are going to be where we take our trades. Okay, so we're going to take our trades at the 55 SMA. We're going to take our trades at our horizontal lines that we have drawn for our levels. Another thing that you want to be cognizant of are going to be these price action lines, the market movement. You see how this line is going up and down with the movement of the candle? That is market movement. You're going to see that some of these numbers end in zeros. The more zeros, the stronger the level. So we have 1.87200, we have 1.87100, and 1.87000. The 000 is going to be a stronger level than these other ones, okay? But you want to be very aware of these double zeros, or what you want to call a round number, because those are going to naturally be support or resistance levels, okay? And we're definitely going to be using these. I like to call the CCI line my fortune teller, okay? I can tell where these candles are going to go before they go there, or before I take my trade. I know that it's going to stay up or it's going to stay down, okay? And I'll give you a couple examples, but we wouldn't be looking for a trade right now. So let me go find a different chart where I can draw you some lines. So as you can see, we are currently rejecting off of the 55 right now. You can also see that the CCI is at negative 60 and it is pointing down. Now eventually this is actually going to break, and we can see that we were below the 55, we went above the 55, and now we're coming back down. We're gonna go and take some trades. As you can see, it hit the 55 and it went back up, but it is trying to break through, right? And it's going to hit this a couple of times, and then it's going to break through. And that's exactly what it's trying to do. Right now, you saw that the bottom line of the Donchian channel actually went up, which means that our candles are not going to go up, and that's exactly what you're seeing in the candle movement, the market movement, okay? The price action. Now, if we put a line right here, we're going to see exactly what I was just talking about, that this is our level, okay? And at our level, we had 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, 4 touch, 5th touch broke through. So you could have taken trades and won at candle 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 and 6, we broke through. And that's normally the way that it works, okay? So, and if you have been paying attention in the Telegram channel, I've shared multiple examples of this. So this is what I am referring to. So let's go grab a rectangle. So these candles rejected off of, not the 55 SMA, the 55 SMA. And then these candles here broke through, okay? You always want to remain cognizant of the fact that we're always trying to break through levels, right? So we went up, we hit the level a bunch of times, can't get through. We broke through, and then we're like, no, let's come back down. And when we came back down, these 4 candles were like touch, and then we broke through. It tried right here as well with red candle number 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it hit again. 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These all broke through. Okay, so I really hope this makes sense. If it doesn't, send me a direct message and I will most definitely be happy to explain. And as you can see, we are rejecting off of the bottom line of the Donchian channel right now, and we are going to go back up. Okay, so we're always going back to from the bottom level to the top, bottom to top, bottom to top. Support, resistance, support, resistance is just the name of the game. All right, so you can see this all over the place, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. That is just the way that market movement works. Okay, let's look at this one because it definitely wants to break through. You can see this on the CCI. Nope, I'm gonna go down. We're gonna come back up, try again, and you can see we have our resistance right here. Common point of rejection is right here. It broke through, and now our 5 EMA has crossed our 55 SMA, so now we know we're headed down. You can see that the CCI is also pointing down. I just took this one just because you can see that the CCI is in the danger zone down here below, but this one is actually at 1 minute instead of 5. I don't know why it changed, but we're gonna hit it anyways. So this is going to be a win. You can see that the CCI is still headed down, and at 5 seconds we could have taken another trade in one. But let's go find some rejection trades because we're not talking about the other strategy that I have. This might take a minute because this market is not looking very good. But we're headed up to the 55 SMA right now. It looks like it might not touch it before rejecting. It is rejecting right now. It's already rejecting prior to even hitting the 55 SMA. All right, we touched it. Oh, that was supposed to be down. Oh, we might actually win both of these. Okay, we actually won the first one and not the second one. But as you can see, we broke through. So sometimes you're not actually going to completely and totally hit the SMA before rejecting. Once you see that it's really rejecting, we have a major wick here, and then this one broke through, came back down, and then shot up through. So you have to look at where your candles are rejecting, and it rejected down here because of this. I'm gonna draw a nice little box to show you, and this is because of our supply and demand. So you can see this green candle right here. The reason why this was rejecting right here is because of this candle. So that's why we had these rejections, okay? That's another great way of knowing where you're going to meet some resistance. All right, this is all the way up through, so let's go find some other places to potentially trade. And because it is Eastern Standard Time, markets all over the place. Might have to resume tomorrow, but I want for you to really understand this, so I might create a part 2 and a part 3. Now, I'm sure that you're already getting the basic concept of this because it's really not that difficult to understand. We're trading where we have a common point, such as right now. Okay, so we're going up. We're going to hit the SMA we already have. We're going to go down, and we're going to win this trade. As you can see, we just won that trade. If we actually draw our lines, you're going to see that we have a common point of rejection, which is going to be computer does not want to cooperate right now. I cannot move my lines for some reason. Now you can see it, candle 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if we had taken our trades on the 4th, we would have won. So technically it would have been probably 2, 3, and 4, but remember we're taking it at 4, okay? But you can really take a trade on any candle that you want when it comes to rejection. Now I might lose this one because it was entered a little bit late. No, I won it. But I'm having a little bit of a lag in when I'm entering my actual trade by clicking and when it's actually being entered. So I don't know if there is I have the fastest internet available, so it really can't be my internet. I don't know if it's the browser or if it's pocket option. And you can see with the CCI that this is going to continue to go down. So what happened was we're well above the SMA in an uptrend, and then we came down. As you can see, we had a bunch of rejections right here, and then we hit the SMA, we broke through, and then it decided it wanted to come back up. But when it came back up, it could not break the SMA. Not really, it really does wicks, right? I really wouldn't consider this to be closing above the SMA. It did, but it headed back down, and you can see that it didn't even touch the plus 100 on the CCI. So then it went back down, and now it's going to try to come back up and break through the SMA again. But all of that is going to be explained in the mentorship course, but we're trying to just talk about rejection trading right now. I just want you to understand what you're looking at. When we're looking for a common point of rejection, we're going to draw a line between where the candles have a common touch point, and that's going to be right here. Okay, and we're going to take a trade on the 4th. Now, you can also take a trade in different places, but you want to make sure that you're setting yourself up for the best possible opportunity. You don't want to just take random trades. You are not a gambler. Your objective is to take trades that you are very confident with and that you have a very high chance of winning. Okay, when do we take our trades? You're going to take a trade as soon as it hits that either common point of rejection or it hits that SMA. You're not waiting until like the 5th second on a 15-second candle. That is part of the different strategy. That is part of the free mini course. With that one, we do wait until it is the 5th second on a 10-second candle, but that is not what we're doing with this one. Now, as you can see, this is actually going to go back down. So let me show you how I know this. If we take a trend line and we draw it on the top of the green candle, and again, this is not wanting to move, and I don't know why. Top of the green candle and top of the next green candle. Come on, my lines do not want to move, and I don't know why. So if you lay them across like that, you can see with my cursor, you're going to see that we had rejection right there, and we could have taken a sell option. Okay, so now it's going to try to break through, and we have broken through. That it's trying to head up. CCI is up above the 100 line. See, I clicked on the sell, but it didn't enter it until 1.5 seconds later, which means I lost. Okay, so I'm going to refresh this. You always want to make sure that when you click, it enters. If not, you need to figure out what the heck the problem is and refresh your screen. Because if that had been entered correctly, I would not have lost. And as you can see, I only have 3 losses. Okay, and so if we took away this one right here because it wasn't entered correctly, I would have only had 2. You can see that the SMA is being used as support. It is pushing up and away from the SMA. If we were down here, it was coming up to the SMA and trying to push down. When we're above, it's pushing up. When we're below, it's pushing down. I'm going to lose this one, and I'm going to win this one. Oh, no, I'm going to lose that one as well. Just waiting to see where this is going. And I want to make sure that losing is part of trading, especially when it comes to fast trades like this. Losing is part of learning to be a good trader. You are not going to win. I don't win. I win, lose, lose, win. If you don't have a consistent staircase when it comes to your trades, then you're never going to learn why you lost. Okay, as you can see, we're still rejecting, but it's because we have this right here. So if I drew a horizontal line, although it's probably not going to move my horizontal line, kind of, our common point of rejection is actually below this. So we're down here. As you can see, we have our supply right here, and that's why we have our rejections right here. Remember I drew that rectangle? So this is why we have this. And then now we're breaking through, and now we're going to have the rest of the downtrend. Okay, so let's go and check out just a couple of more. But I want you to see how simple this is. You need to practice this on demo before you do anything, but this is just about taking very simple trades based on where you have a common point of rejection like this. It might break through. No, we went up and we have our trade if it was at 5 seconds, but it's not because this is not an OTC pair. So if it were an OTC pair, I would have been able to do 5 seconds, but as you can see, we don't have that option here because this is not an OTC pair. So if it had been, I would have won. You always want to make sure that you are trading on OTC. You are not trading on real pairs because you cannot trade 5 seconds or anything less than 1 minute. So we have to go back, change it to 5 seconds, and we have that one, we won. Now, as you can see, this is trying to break through. And where is our common point of rejection with this? Common point of rejection is going to be right here. Why? Because this is where the line touches all 4 candles. So we know that when it hits that point, we might have some rejection. See, it was a little bit late. I mean, that one, now it's going to break through, but that one was entered late because it did not get entered when I clicked the mouse. This is another reason why I don't like trading on PC, but again, there's some sort of issue somewhere and I'm not too sure what it is. But another reason that we're trading on demo. Okay, let's go find one more. So we are at the 50 SMA. This wants to break through, but as you can see, it just rejected up. And when it came down the second time, it went a little bit lower, and now it's going to break through. And it has broken through. Gonna go up a little bit, and then maybe the next candle we're gonna break through completely, and now we have broken through. See what I'm saying? Where is our common point of rejection? It's right here. We hit the SMA, we went up, and currently our SMA is our support. And it's either gonna go up or it's going to break through. It looks like we might break through. But how many rejections have we had? We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now you should expect that it's going to break through if it has not already come up. And as you can see by looking at the CCI, that it is breaking through. If you have questions about this, please send me a direct message. But I am going to be making multiple videos about this that you will have access to the entire thing with tons and tons of examples. But I do want to get this episode out to you. So what are our trading options? Common point of rejection, the SMA, and supply and demand right here. So when it comes up and it hits this area, it is going to reject. I am just waiting for it to come up here. It might not though. And it didn't. And that is because of something else here. Further back in the chart, you see how it's like super rejecting? There's a level here somewhere that we're not seeing, like right here. Everything that it touches, every time it touches up here, rejects down. So that was actually a perfect example of it, right? See, that was entered late. I still won it, but that's not where I entered it. Look how many rejections we have. So I need for you to go and test this on demo, okay? And then let me know if you have questions, and I will let you go and practice this.